All right, let's talk about the Green Bay Packers. And look, every year after the draft at this time, we like to take a step back on this channel and go through the day 2 and day 3 picks to find the really smart moves, the great additions, the steals, maybe the underrated, under the radar moves that aren't getting the attention like some of the first round picks did, but really do matter. And the Green Bay Packers pulled off one of them late in the third round, selecting running back Marshawn Lloyd from USC West and, of course, USC East before that. Let's get into a couple tweets here highlighting exactly why Marshawn Lloyd was such a great pick for the Green Bay Packers. This first one up is courtesy of Warren Sharp, but he's quoting draft guru Daniel Jeremiah, who goes by at Move the Sticks. He said, "In my opinion, the Packers just got the best running back in the NFL draft. That's Green Bay selecting USC running back Marshawn Lloyd, again, late in the third round. So, number one, talking about a lot of value there. And then if you look at Warren Sharp went on to do some more deep dive analytics, who Sharp is a great follow on Twitter, by the way, for anyone looking for a good follow with some good football data. This is what he had to say. He said, Packers' new running back Marshawn Lloyd was elite last year in several aspects. He averaged a class best 8.2 yards per touch, despite being hit behind the line of scrimmage on 41% of his carries. So he did not have a great line, still class best 8.2 yards per touch. And doing that, he forced a missed tackle on a class best 37% of his carries. So it's clear that this was a special player that had to overcome big-time offensive line issues at USC. I think he'll have a much better opportunity to really do well for the Green Bay Packers. Miles, I'm curious what your thoughts are on this. But first, Packers fans in the comment section below, now that we've gone through the entire draft, I want you guys to let us know which pick the Green Bay Packers made you think was the best one. There's a lot of interesting options, and certainly Marshawn Lloyd probably is at the top of the list, but we want to hear from you. You've got to pick one. Give us the best Green Bay Packers draft pick and put them in the comment section below. But Miles, give me your thoughts on Lloyd and what he could do for this Packers offense.
Yeah, like, I best remember Marshawn Lloyd from, as you said, USC East. I know he was at USC West, and most people know him from there. But South Carolina Gamecock version of Marshawn Lloyd is where I know him the best. And I think if you look at the Gamecocks this past season in 2023 versus the year before in 2022 and see what exactly Marshawn Lloyd add to that team, you'll just know how good of a player that you've got. We're talking about SEC football. I know South Carolina is by far not the best team in the SEC. Probably very mid-tier team in the SEC, mid to probably even getting to the lower point at this point in time. But in 2022, Marshawn Lloyd rushed for 573 yards, 5.2 yards per carry, long rush of 45 yards, 9 touchdowns. As a team, they had 1,500 rushing yards, 3.8 yards per carry, 27 touchdowns total. Let's go to 2023. Marshawn Lloyd leaves. He goes to Southern Cal. This year, the team, their rushing yards as a team, 1,000 rushing yards. Yards per carry as a team, 2.8 rushing yards per on average. And then you got 17 touchdowns. Highest touchdown getter on the team had 5. It was such a drastic dip off that a player like Marshawn Lloyd left South Carolina, went to Southern Cal. He performed, as you said, in the not great of circumstances again. He shows that he can perform and perform very well. I think this is a guy, if he goes to Alabama, if he goes to Georgia, has those elite offensive lines, he's going to make a killing. You're going to see him light up the stat sheets. But unfortunately, he didn't play at those schools, and he still did very, very well. I think this guy's going to add a lot to the Packers team. I think they're lucky that he was in such bad circumstances to get him this far down the draft boards.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things that happens with prospects every once in a while where a player has to overcome some challenging team dynamics, and so they fall in the draft, right? It's one of those weird things of how like so many Alabama players and Georgia players go in the first and second round just because they all play together on a great team, so they all look really good because they're just so stacked and beat everybody in college football by 50 points. Marshawn Lloyd had to overcome some challenging circumstances. And I think with Green Bay, in a weird way, he's going to be used to it because I think Green Bay's biggest weakness on the offense is their run blocking. They finished 23rd according to PFF in 2023 under that metric. Now, I don't think they're bad at run blocking. I think that metric may be a little bit skewed. I think they're going to be better in 2024. But the reality is, if you look at the moves the Packers have made, bringing in Jacobs, right? Of course, you had Marshawn Lloyd. They're bringing in guys saying, hey, listen, we need to have running backs that can make people miss. guys that can fall forward, that can turn 2-yard runs to 4, 5, 6-yard runs, because they understand they don't have as much invested in the run blocking element of their offense as a lot of other teams might. So this is actually going to be a situation where I don't think it's going to be as bad as it was at either USC, but I still think it's an environment where Marshawn Lloyd's going to have to take advantage of his ability to make people miss, to break tackles, and create positive plays for the Packers offense. But there's another element to Marshawn Lloyd's style that I really like as well. Because of a quarterback like Jordan Love and because of the offense the Packers will like to run with play actions and bootlegs and kind of stretching the defense horizontally, Marshawn Lloyd was really good at cutting back and finding holes away from the designed opportunity, just reacting to what the defense does in front of him. Because of teams having to respect the bootleg and respect Jordan Love, he's going to have a lot of chances to do that with this Green Bay Packers offense. So I think it's a really great stylistic fit as well, plus the incredible value where they got him. Best running back in the draft late in the 3rd round. Again, great draft by the entire Packers front office. Another really good one. And I think Marshawn Lloyd was probably the best pick of the bunch.
Data brokers sell your information to scammers, spammers, and anyone else who may want to target you. Your full name, email, home address, health records, even your relatives. It's all out there. That's why we use Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows us which data brokers are selling our information and automatically submits opt-out requests for us.
Cleaning up our information not only reduces the amount of that stupid spam we all get, but it also protects us from hackers who could use this information to help them access our social media accounts, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. Aura also does much more to protect us and our families from online threats. We also get features like antivirus protection, VPNs, password management, parental controls, identity theft insurance, and more without having to download several different apps. That's really key. One location, get all this great stuff. It's really easy to set up. And the best of all, we get everything at one affordable price.
And you may already have 1 or 2 of these tools already, but not having Aura is like locking the front door and leaving the back door wide open. Aura is always on doing the hard work to keep you safe so you can focus on other tasks and have peace of mind. We value our privacy and we value yours. You can go to aura.com/Saturday to start your 2-week free trial. Also, link below in the description. Again, aura.com/Saturday for your free 2-week trial.